Alright, I'm back. What's up, YouTube? Today's video is going to be called Mexican BBW Women Having Sex with Black Men. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, why would you call the title of this video? Because there are a lot of people behind the scenes that ask questions, and a friend of mine wanted me to make this video. He's anonymous. He doesn't feel comfortable coming on camera, and he wanted me to answer a couple of questions and explain some stuff in a video. You know, he likes plus size women, and he's the one that wanted this video made. So I made this for him as a special request. All right, so let's get into it. Now, the reason why Mexican, or should I say Latino, BBW women find black men physically, sexually attractive is because we're bigger, we're stronger, we're faster, we're more athletic. You know, we can play basketball, football, baseball. You know, we put it down in the gym, we put it down in the bedroom, and we're very good, passionate lovers. And we get a lot of people that player hate on us. Now, in the black community, there is a term that gets used called the educated lame. Now, what is the educated lame? The educated lame is a black man who's highly intelligent, highly educated, and when he can't date the most beautiful, highly attractive black women, or should I say women for that matter, there's 8s, 9s, and 10s, he stayed outside his race, and when he dates outside his race, he can only date fat white women or fat Mexican women, and that's all he can date. And he gets stereotyped as the black man that dates another racist man's leftovers. And a lot of times you hear that he ain't got no confidence, he got low self-esteem, he thinks too low of himself, he should raise his standards. And a lot of men on YouTube get a lot of heat and a lot of hatred just for lowering their standards. And as always, he dates another white man's leftovers. Or you could just say he dates, you know, the white man's or the Latino man's trash. Now, some black men that are highly educated, that are educated lames, they find that to be rude and disrespectful because they get stereotyped by the news media. You know, you look at all these movies and all these television shows, they get stereotyped. You know, you get made out to be the bad guy. You've seen Tony Montana and Scarface. You get made out to be like some super villain from a comic book that's on a rampage trying to destroy the world, and they need to bring in some superhero to kick your ass because you lost your mind and you've gone mad. Now, last year when I was at Los Angeles City College, I met a very good BBW Mexican girl. Very beautiful, very attractive for her age, you know, her size. You know, she was 25 years old. I was taking television. She was taking television. You know, she wanted to be a television producer. I want to be a film director. So we're on similar paths to Hollywood. And I like the fact that she has some curves, you know, nice round breasts, nice thighs, big butt, nice smile, and she's a security guard. She goes to school part-time. She works part-time. Now, whenever you see a black man date what they call big booty Mexican girl or big booty Latino girl or big booty white girl, a lot of times the black man is sexually frustrated. I mean, they say supposedly in the statistics, and I don't know how true this is until I go to Venice Beach on spring break in the month of April and find out how true this is. They supposedly say realistically that from the age of 25 to 30 years old, that for whatever reasons that are not explained, that all of a sudden a man goes after a fat white girl or a fat Mexican girl that's anywhere between 200 to 250 pounds, sometimes 260, 270, and he starts dating that woman for about 5 years, maybe 10. It could be almost 15 years that he dates these types of women. And the argument on YouTube has always been out there that black men like dating fat white women or fat Mexican women because they don't have no game. You know, you play video games, you read comic books, you look at anime, and you don't know how to talk and you ain't got no game. But the real truth and reality is most men are sexually frustrated. Most men are tired of being looked upon as failures in the black community. I mean, think about it. You graduate from high school, you graduate from college, you get into the real world, and you make some money for yourself. You get a house, or if not a house, an apartment. You get a car. If not a car, then you ride the bus. And when you try to date the most beautiful, attractive black and white women in America, you get told Big Boss's favorite three words: money, looks, and status. If you're not rich and famous, if you're not driving a fast motorcycle, you can forget it. If you're not driving a Corvette or a Lamborghini, you can forget it. You know, if you're not a bodybuilder, a weightlifter, a power lifter, a basketball player, football player, baseball player, if you're not a professional boxer like Floyd Mayweather Jr., if you're not a professional wrestler like John Cena, if you're not a movie star, or should I say an action star like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, then you can forget it. So what a lot of black men are starting to realize in 2018, that if they lower their standards, they're going to get attacked by everyone. Friends, family, co-workers, and if they have high standards, they get attacked. See, that's another thing that on YouTube, they don't want to talk about. That when you raise your standards, they still have a problem with you. You lower your standards, they still got a problem with you. And that's rude and disrespectful. So the reason why they start dating what they call a big booty white girl or big booty Mexican girl is because they want an opportunity to be in a relationship. You know, either you date fat women that are average or below average, or you go midtown. You know, and I probably might make a YouTube video about why some men go midtown, and things of that nature, but that ain't that video. This video is about Mexican BBW women having sex with black men. Now, black men like BBW Mexican women, Latino women, because they got the big breasts, they got them big thighs, that nice round curvy ass, and they do find these women physically, sexually attractive. Now, these women do give out back massages, neck massages, and feet fetishes. Now, let's talk about another urban legend myth. If you're an athletic shape, because a lot of people are saying it's athletic men doing this, not just black men that are not and physically fit, but you know, Juan Wills made a video about this not too long ago, 4 months back in 2017, and his was called "Successful Black Men Dating, you know, the Fat, Unattractive Woman," and people were trying to figure out, you know, well, what the hell's going on? You're successful. Why you want to land well? So let's talk about it. I've noticed that, and some people have noticed this too, that some of your power lifters and weightlifters, I can't say for all bodybuilders, but some bodybuilders and some weightlifters and some power lifters do smash women that's 200 pounds, 300 pounds. And I think the stereotype and the misconception to that is, if you're between 6 feet to 6'6" and you weigh between 200 to 250 pounds, why are you doing that? And a lot of times they get stereotyped by beautiful, attractive women. Like, you'll get a girl that will say stuff like, well, I said I wanted a big, strong man, but you're too strong and you're too big. And then a lot of these power lifters and weightlifters be like, what the hell you mean I'm too big and too strong? And it's the type of female they go after. All men want to go after girls that's between the height of 4'11" to 5'8", that weighs in between 90 to 130 pounds. No bodybuilder, no weightlifter or power lifter ever wants to mess with a big woman. The reason why I think you see it and they make magazine articles and YouTube videos about it
is because they've seen it about 60 to 65% of the time. And they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. That's like a professional football player or a basketball player deciding, I don't want a supermodel, I want a plus size model. That's what that feels like. And these are all stereotypes that I'm talking about. Because this is something that I have to talk about in the video. And a lot of the bodybuilders or weightlifters or powerlifters who do this, their complaint is they're too big. So what it sounds like, if you're 6 feet to 6'6" and you weigh in between 200 to 250 pounds of muscle, and you can bench press 300 pounds or 400 pounds, and women complain you're too big, I can't do nothing with you. A lot of men feel like they're being offended. So then a lot of these guys get stereotyped, and once they get stereotyped, they go, what's the point of me even trying if I'm being stereotyped? And then, you get attacked by people in the black community if you even dare to even dream to even think about lowering your standards. You'll get attacked like it's the Black Plague. Now, let's talk about the good and the bad. Let's talk about the math and the science. Now, the math is that between ages 25 to 30, as a black man, you're going to be sexually frustrated. Not just sexually frustrated, you're also going to be discriminated against. Now, let's get to the science. When a man does get successful, he's supposed to date 8s, 9s, and 10s. But then for some reason, we see a lot of black men, and I've seen it, date what they call big booty white girl or big booty Mexican girl. And on YouTube, O'Shea Dude Jackson would call it a POG. P-A-G-N, a POG, which is another way of saying pig, but they say POG. And the reason why a lot of black men do that is because they find it easier to date them type of women than to raise their standards and date a female that's going to challenge them more. So that's also another conception out there, that some men don't like challenges. Now let's talk about that stereotype, because I think that's a bunch of bullshit too. There's no such thing of telling someone to raise their standards as high as they possibly can raise them, and then when they get a woman, they say, I want a woman to challenge me. And this is something that a lot of black men, and including myself, have done 7 or 8 times in the past and had to stop doing, is I want a woman to challenge me intellectually. And then when you get a woman that can challenge you intellectually, the problem that you get when you do it is that you complain, she's too masculine, she's too demanding, she has unrealistic expectations. And then you break up with the girl and you get with girl number 2. You break up with girl number 2, you get with girl number 3. And before you know it, you broke up with 5 girls for the same reason. Now you lower your standards, and then you'll hear other black men say, man, she easy. To me, trying to date beautiful, attractive women, yeah, it's going to be a challenge. But who wants a challenge all the time? Like, seriously. Paying your bills every 30 days is a challenge. Just so they don't cut off the water, the gas, the electricity, that's a challenge. You got to pay your cell phone bill, your cable bill. You got to cut your grass because that can cause a fire hazard. The fire marshal will come out. You got to file your taxes so the IRS don't come after you. And then you got to watch it when you drive in the street. You run through a red light, you're going to get a ticket from the DMV. You might get pulled over by the police. So all of that in itself is a challenge. And most black men who say, I want a black woman to give me a challenge, is very stupid and very delusional. And then these be the same men, well, not all black men. I don't want the all police to come up in here and prosecute a brother. There's the all police. There's the feminist police, and then there's what they call the YouTube police. Some of y'all might find this funny, and other people might say what he just said ain't funny. But you got some black men that do this. And then the very same black men that complain, I want a woman to be a challenge, it's the same black men that start that, I'm going midtown, I'm going my own way.
And that's because you said you wanted a woman that's a challenge. So basically, that explains the math and the science. Now let's talk about the good and the bad. The good is they are some freaky ass women. I mean, what else can I say? They're freaks. Mexican BBW women are some freaky ass freaks. They'll give you back massage, neck massage, feet fetishes. You know, you want to have sex with 2 women, 3 women. They're open to experimenting. Oh, and they'll let you hit it from the back. They'll let you do anal sex. You know, black people call it doggy dog style. White people call it anal sex. They'll let you hit it from the back. And they're not afraid to do it in the park. They're not afraid to do it in the elevator. They're not afraid to do it in the car. They are some freaks. I'm talking about the BBW Mexican women. They are some freaks. They will do some things that will make you stay up all night and contemplate. That's the good part. Now for the bad. Is some of these women feminists? Yes. But like I say in all my videos, if you don't display no strong masculinity, then there's no point in you even trying to talk to the opposite sex. If you can't even deal with supermodels that are feminists, if you can't even deal with the average girl being feminist, if you can't even deal with any woman feminist, then there's only 2 alternatives left. Either get a passport or go midtown. And I'm not trying to knock men who go midtown. What I'm trying to say is if you are trying to get you a woman and you don't want to be scrutinized and demonized for lowering your standards, then you got other options. See, I made this video because someone wants me to ask questions. Now in my next video, when I use my new camera, I'm going to be trying to ask a bodybuilder, you know, have he seen it? Because a lot of the women that didn't want you, they did you cold. And then the guys who ended up dating women from these places, obviously you know what I mean. So basically I wanted to sum this video up, and when we get to spring break, I'm going to give you 2 videos in one. I'm going to give you what's the difference between a supermodel, Miss USA, a plus size model, an Instagram thought, and then the second half of that video is going to be me interviewing a bodybuilder. Of course, I got to get permission from the bodybuilder, and then I'm going to ask him about money, looks, and status, and try to do what they call a fan reaction video, where I'm going to interview different people, not on this phone, but I'm going to use it on my camera and switch things up. You know, my producer told me it's time to leave the camera on your cell phone alone and try something new for a change. So you might see something different the next time I upload a video. So until then, peace. Have a good day. Bye.